Okay, picture this. The air is just thick with smoke. You can hear explosions everywhere. Your comms, they're down. And that perfect plan, the one you spent hours on, yeah, that's completely useless now. The enemy isn't where they're supposed to be, and all of a sudden, this incredible opportunity opens up on your flank. But it's not in your orders. So, what do you do? Say, this isn't some made up scenario. This is the real, gritty reality of combat. And it's a reality that the United States Army has built its entire command philosophy to not just survive, but to win. Yeah, those three words you see right there: chaos, friction, uncertainty. They're not just, things that happen sometimes. They are the game. They are the rule, not the exception. The famous military thinker Karl von Clausewitz called it the fog of war for a reason. He said that pretty much everything you're trying to base your actions on is hidden in this fog. And the US Army gets this. They don't just nod and say, yep, war is tough. No, they've built their entire way of leading around mastering it.
And check this out. Look at the date on this quote, 1941. This isn't some new high-tech idea we just came up with. The Army has known for generations that you just can't script a battle. It's impossible. You can't draw up a flowchart that's going to account for, well, for people, for pure chance, or for an enemy whose entire job is to mess up your day. So that creates a huge problem, right?
And that's the big question, isn't it? If you know for a fact your plan is going to fall apart, how do you build a team that can think on its feet and act faster than the other guy? How do you create a force that actually thrives in chaos instead of just getting by? Well, the Army's answer, it's a powerful philosophy called Mission Command. All right, so let's get into it. What is this thing really? Mission Command, it's not just a rulebook or a checklist. It's way deeper than that. It's a fundamental shift in culture. This is the Army's official way of thinking about command and control, and it is built from the ground up for one reason: to empower leaders at every single level to make decisions and get things done.
Let's pull apart this official definition from the Doctrine ADP 6-0. Empowered subordinate decision-making. What's that really mean? It means the sergeants and lieutenants on the ground, the ones with eyes on the actual situation, are trusted to make the call. Then you've got decentralized execution. That's the fancy way of saying we don't micromanage. We tell our people what the goal is, give them what they need, and then we trust them to figure out the how. And the whole reason this philosophy even exists is because the Army gets these three fundamental truths about military operations. First, they're human. They're messy. They're about people with all their emotions and unpredictability. Second, the environment is always, always changing. And third, everything you do has to connect back to a bigger political purpose. A rigid, top-down, do this, then do that system, it just can't hang. It's too slow for that kind of reality. And General Patton just nails the spirit of it right here. This whole system is built on trust. It's built on competence, and it's built on a deep belief in the smarts and ingenuity of the American soldier. It's all about unleashing that potential, not putting it in a box. But, this amazing idea didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's got some really deep roots in history. So let's talk about that philosophy of command and where it comes from. Because this whole idea of decentralized command, it's not new at all. It's been proven effective for centuries. And to really get it, we're going to have to go back to 19th century Prussia. Okay, so look at this comparison. On one side, you've got the old school way, centralized control, total micromanagement. Every single decision has to come from the top. It's painfully slow, it's super rigid, and it just shatters under pressure. But on the other side, you've got the idea that inspired mission command. It's a German concept called Auftragstaktik. And back then, this was a revolutionary idea. Instead of giving your people a massive, detailed list of instructions, you give them one thing: the commander's intent. You tell them the end goal, the why, and then you empower them to use their own brains and initiative to make it happen. And this right here, this quote from Helmuth von Moltke, the guy who came up with Auftragstaktik, this is the whole game. He had this critical realization. The second the fighting starts, that beautiful plan you spent weeks perfecting is already out of date. He argued that true success comes from training your junior leaders to think for themselves and to act decisively, always guided by the big picture, by the commander's goal, not by some rigid checklist. All right, so that's the philosophy. But how does the U.S. Army actually make this work day to day? Well, it's all built on 7 guiding principles. And these aren't just, corporate buzzwords. These are the actual pillars that hold up the entire structure of Mission Command.
Okay, let's run through these real quick because they all lock together like a puzzle. It all starts with competence. You have to be good at your job technically and tactically. Simple as that. Because let's be real, you can't trust someone who doesn't know what they're doing. And that leads directly to the next one, mutual trust. This is huge. It's that bedrock confidence between leaders and their soldiers that everyone is reliable and has each other's back. Once you have that trust, you can build shared understanding where everyone is on the same page about the mission, the environment, the enemy, the whole picture. That understanding is shaped by the commander's intent. This is the why. It's not a to-do list. It's the purpose, the goal, the desired end state. That intent gets passed down through mission orders. These orders tell you what to do and why, but, and this is key, not how to do it. That freedom is what allows for disciplined initiative. That's the responsibility to act, to make a decision without waiting for new orders when things go sideways, as long as it fits the commander's intent. And finally, to make any of this work, you have to have risk acceptance. Leaders have to be willing to take smart, calculated risks, because that's how you seize opportunities and win. So, you want to see what it looks like when all these principles come together to create a massive victory? We don't have to look at Prussia. We can look right here at home, at the American Civil War, and the incredible partnership between Ulysses S. Grant and William T. Sherman. I mean, just read this sentence. This is a total masterclass in mission command, decades before anyone called it that. Think about what Grant is doing. He gives Sherman clear commander's intent. Take out the enemy army and get deep into their territory. He issues mission orders, not some micromanaged plan. And why can he do this? Because of the absolute mutual trust he has in Sherman's competence. And the result of all that? Sherman's March to the Sea. A campaign of pure, disciplined freedom that absolutely shattered the Confederacy's ability to fight. Now look, it's easy to hear a story about Grant and Sherman and think, okay, this is for generals. But the real magic of mission command is that it scales. It works all the way down the line, to the squad leader, to the team leader, even to the individual soldier. And the key concept that makes it all work at that level is that thing we talked about, disciplined initiative. Here's a super simple way to think about it, especially if you're a sports fan. Think of a quarterback. The coach calls in a play from the sideline. That's your mission order. But the QB gets to the line of scrimmage and sees the defense has totally changed their formation. That's the new situation. He doesn't have time for a timeout, so what does he do? Based on the coach's intent, which is to gain yards and score a touchdown, he calls an audible. That is disciplined initiative. It's not ignoring the coach, it's adapting to reality to achieve the coach's original goal. And if you want one of the most unbelievable real-world examples of this, you have to look at Corporal Alvin York in World War I. His platoon's attack gets completely bogged down. His leaders are all down, killed or wounded. He's a corporal, suddenly in charge of 7 guys. The orders he was given? Totally meaningless now. But he knows his commander's intent. Take out that German machine gun nest. So, acting on his own, he leads his tiny squad on a flank, charges the position, and through just unbelievable skill and guts, he and his few men end up capturing 132 German soldiers. That right there is disciplined initiative in its absolute purest form. Okay, so we've looked at the history, we've broken down the theory, but let's bring it home. Why does this matter so much today? I mean, more than ever before. Well, it's because the modern battlefield is faster, more complex, and more lethal than anything we have ever seen in human history. Think about it. A slow, centralized, top-down command system is just obsolete. By the time a decision makes its way from some far-off headquarters down to the soldier who needs it, the moment is gone. The opportunities vanished. That old way is brittle. It breaks. But mission command? It was made for this environment. It's fast. It's adaptable. And it lets our forces generate a speed and tempo that can completely overwhelm an enemy. So if you take away one thing, let it be this. Mission command isn't just some doctrine you memorize from a book. It is a culture. It's a culture built on trust. It's a culture that values a person's judgment more than a rigid process. It's all about what we call disciplined freedom, empowering leaders at every single level and creating a force that is always ready to act and always looking to seize the initiative. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about joining the Army, or maybe you're a brand new soldier, listen up, because this is what it all means for you. You're not signing up to be a robot who just follows orders. You're joining a team that is going to train you, trust you, and empower you to think. From the very first day, you're being developed into a leader who sees the big picture, who can make smart calls when the pressure is on, and who can be counted on to take action when it matters most. At the end of the day, mission command is the art of leading, not just managing. It's the core belief that the best answers, the best solutions almost always come from the people who are closest to the problem.
It is how the United States Army takes chaos and turns it into an opportunity, and then turns that opportunity into victory. Hey, if you want to get more deep dives into the ideas that shape our military, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.